So yesterday we had seen till a tagging of parts of speech. Now we are moving towards sequence classification. So sequence classification is a predictive model problem only. What are we trying to do is, we are trying to, whenever we are having a sequence of inputs over either space or time, our task is to predict the category of the sequence. So ये कब कब यूज होता है? ये स्पीच रिकग्निशन में यूज हो सकता है, ये सेंटिमेंट एनालिसिस में यूज हो सकता है, ये ट्रांसलेशन फ्रॉम वन लैंग्वेज टू अनदर लैंग्वेज, ऐसे कोई प्रोग्राम्स है तो उसमें यूज हो सकता है. एंड दिस इज बेसिकली अ वेरी गुड डोमेन वेर योर RNN कैन बी अप्लाइड. सो RNN का अप्लीकेशन एरिया अगर कुछ है तो ये है. ओके, सो सबसे पहला स्पीच रिकग्निशन. What happens in speech recognition? Your input is an audio clip and the model is responsible for producing the text transcript. मतलब audio को text में convert करना है. Okay. Now obviously audio is something which is a sequence. एक sequence में है ना audio and it plays over time. So मैंने जैसे ऊपर बोला था कि either the inputs are, there's a sequence of inputs which are spread over space or they are spread over time. So audio is something that is spread over time. Okay. Now transcript, which is your output, it is also a sequence of words. So this is a classic indication of where you can use RNN. जहाँ पे इनपुट भी सीक्वेंस है, आउटपुट भी सीक्वेंस है, या इनपुट आउटपुट दोनों में से एक सीक्वेंस है, ऐसे सारे केसेस में RNN works very nicely. Okay, so this is the first kind of application you can say. Second one is sentiment classification. So what is sentiment classification? Many times people type the reviews. हमने Zomato, Swiggy, क्या कहते हैं, Amazon, Myntra, ये सब पे देखा होगा कि people are giving reviews. So if a person has given a review in words, I want to convert that review as a form of rating, 2.1, 5.0, 1, 0, ऐसा, या फिर in stars. So what is happening over here? The input is in sequence. It is a set of words, correct? So it is a sequence. So I want to take that input and I want to predict the sentiment of the statement, means whether it is a positive statement, it is a negative statement. I need to find out some emotion that is shown via that statement, means whether it is anger, it is happiness, it is sadness, whatever the emotion is, and the output will be in the form of stars or ratings. Another kind of application is DNA sequence analysis. So now in your DNA there are lots of markers. Sometimes they are called as proteins. So basically your DNA sequence is going to be the input and the model is supposed to predict which part of DNA belongs to which protein. So wherever the signature of protein, a particular protein matches the DNA, that part should be highlighted just as the things are highlighted here in red color. Okay, that is DNA sequence analysis. The next one is machine translation. What happens over here is you are simply taking a statement in one language as an input and you are converting that statement into another language. Let's say here the statement as an input is in French and your output is in English. So here both input as well as output, they are sequences. The next thing is video activity recognition. So what is video activity recognition? Basically you are having a video that is playing and you are supposed to identify what activity is being done in that video. So is someone walking, is someone jumping, is someone running, what kind of activity is being carried out in the particular video. So here whenever we talk about video, it is nothing but it is sequence of frames. We all know that video is nothing but collection of frames together. Okay. So that's it for this part. Now the next part is unfolding computational graphs. Now what is the concept of computational graph? I want to formalize the structure of a set of computation. Now, which computations are we talking about? We are talking about the computations that will help us in mapping the inputs and the parameters to the outputs and the loss. So basically जो recursive या recurrent computations है, वो computational graph में कैसे दिखा सकते हैं हम लोग, वो repetitive structure कैसे दिखेगा. So basically consider the left hand side image. What you can see over here is, you can see this black color box. This black color box shows the delay. But if I expand this graph, if I unfold this graph, I can see that in my entire network, how many parameters are involved, which function is dealing with which parameter, and everywhere you can see the time. It is t minus 1, t and t plus 1, because whatever processing we are doing it with respect to time. Correct? So each node represents the state at some time t, and the function maps the state at time t to the state at time t plus 1. So we will go from t to t plus 1. So rather, if I have to take it from here, then t minus 1 से t plus t तक आते हैं and t से t plus 1 तक आते हैं. So this is how we go ahead. Okay. Now whatever parameters we are having, the same parameters, the same value of theta are used in all these functions. So for all the time steps, even if the time t is different everywhere, the parameters are same. Now these cycles represent the influence of the present value of a variable on its own value at a future time step. So this is something that you need to understand. We are not working with normal neural networks, we are working with recurrent neural networks. Okay, so एक value जो whenever the values are in sequence, one value is obviously going to have an effect on another value. So somewhere we are supposed to show that, somewhere we are supposed to describe that in the neural network. Okay. Now a computational graph is a way to formalize the structure of a set of computation, such as those involved in mapping inputs and parameters to outputs and losses. So we explain the idea of unfolding a recursive or recurrent computation into a computational graph that has a repetitive structure, typically corresponding to the chain of events. Whenever we are having something like this, we are referring to this as a chain of events, कि एक event के बाद दूसरा event हो रहा है. Okay? Unfolding these graphs results in sharing of the parameter across the deep network structure. What do you mean by sharing of parameters? Something that we saw in this point. Ki across all the time steps, the value of the parameters, whatever parameters are there, here they have given the example of theta, the same parameters will be used across the time. Okay. Now, you may have a recurrent network with no outputs. So this recurrent network just processes the information from the input x by incorporating it into the state h that is passed forward through the time. So as I told you, this diagram on the left, what does it show? It shows you that there is no output because there is no output that is being generated, but it is a recurrent network. What is happening? The network is just processing the information which is received in the form of input x by incorporating that information into the state h that is passed forward through the time. So state h is actually continuously being updated. Okay, वो जो black square था वो delay था for the single time step, and that is what I told you. ये जो black square है that is a delay. अभी ये ग्राफ से हमें इतना कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. So we try and unfold it. We try to convert it into the computational graph. So when we convert it into the computational graph, what happens? The same network is seen as an unfolded computation graph where each node is now associated with one particular time instance. So we had a separate node for t minus 1, we had a separate node for t, and we have a separate node for t plus 1. Okay? Recurrent neural networks can be built in many different ways. Almost any function can be considered a feed-forward neural network. Essentially, any function involving recurrence can be considered as a recurrent neural network. कोई भी फंक्शन आपके पास है तो आप ऑटोमेटिकली ये सोचने लगते हो कि इसका फीड फॉरवर्ड न्यूरल नेटवर्क बनेगा, बट अगर उस फंक्शन में रिकरेंस आता है, कहीं पर भी recursive nature आता है, then you should first think of considering the recurrent neural network for its implementation. Okay, now when we have a recurrent network and we have trained it to perform a task that requires predicting the future from the past, the network typically learns to use h of t as a kind of lossy summary of the task relevant aspects of the past sequence of inputs up till t. So basically, whenever you are trying to predict the future, we try to understand कि पिछले जो inputs है, past sequence जो भी है, वो sequence का length हम लोग algorithm में डाल सकते हैं. We will come to that point when we are actually taking up examples by the end of the chapter. Okay. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We take a summary of the past sequence of inputs up till t, and based on that we try and predict the future.